To be honest, you can never be ready for this guy. He is going to blow your minds. I don't say that lightly. He's one of my absolute favorite comics and one of my favorite people. Are you ready? That means do this. Yeah! Put it together, keep it together for Warhol Kaufman!
People say Negroes can't swim, but my great uncle went swimming all the time before he drowned. He was always in the river. Actually, Negroes can't swim is just the beginning of the sign on the white-only pool. It's like, Negroes can't swim in this pool, get the fuck out of here. If you believe we've been to the moon, then you accept that we only let white men on the moon. So that's on you now. That's your bad now. You guys like Bernie? Yeah? You like Bernie? I love Bernie. I love Bernie Madoff. I love Bernie Madoff so much. Bernie Madoff stole $65 billion. That's white privilege. I couldn't steal $65 billion if I wanted to, and I do want to. That's what I want. I don't know if you heard about Kevin Spacey. Somebody dropped a lawsuit against Kevin Spacey. Apparently this 18-year-old kid was in a bar. They printed his transcripts. He's texting his girlfriend. He's like, I think Kevin Spacey is in this bar. 15 minutes later, Kevin Spacey just bought me a drink. 10 minutes. I think Kevin Spacey is gay. 15 minutes. Kevin Spacey keeps touching my dick. Kevin Spacey bought me another drink. I'm pretty sure Kevin Spacey is gay. Yeah, boy, that's what I got from your story, too. Sounds like Kevin Spacey's gay. People be like, Trump is racist. And he's orange. I think it's ironic that Trump's son is barren when we all wish his mother was. Is it unfair? Is it unfair to make fun of Donald Trump considering he's cognitively disabled? It's just like you could tell Trump raped somebody, but it's like it doesn't count because he wasn't wearing a sombrero. I used to live in West Oakland. They found a human head in the recycling plant 2 blocks from my house, which is messed up because that's compostable. I spent some time in Portland. That town is too white. It makes my teeth look bad. I like white people because white people know everything except how racist they are. The good thing about white supremacists is at least they're white. Make some noise if you're racist. Make some noise if you got a big vagina. Make some noise if you come silently just for your partner, just to let them know you're involved. Black actors never get to play Nazis. That's racism. Do Nazis like World War II films? Or does knowing the ending make it less fun? Whatever happened to the other 2 Reichs? I know the third one ended badly, but like, the first one must have been good, right? Like, you don't make a sequel unless... So my ex-girlfriend just got the pre-abortion sonogram. Everyone's looking healthy. Everything's looking good. I don't know if abortion is murder, but I know killing every conservative politician is murder. But I just found out something so crazy. Do you want to know? Yes. I'll tell you. It's so crazy. I just found out. Just from a legal standpoint, apparently, if you kill 2 people, Nancy Pelosi is president. Like if you murder 2 people, Nancy Pelosi is the Democrat. Not just any 2 people. It's like a puzzle. You have to solve for ex-president. I thought my girlfriend liked cocaine more than she liked me. And I was right because she didn't dump coke yesterday. Guys, I just want to tell you, if you see a beautiful homeless woman, she chose that life over you. I went to Costco the other day. The main difference between Costco and a refugee camp is the savings. There's more savings, slightly more savings. I was at the mall. This young white teenager made eye contact with me. And under his breath, he goes, "My nigger." Yeah, a Denzel fan. Exactly. I went to Five Guys. Five Guys does not give a fuck about your peanut allergy. Go fuck yourself. But back in the day, the doctor wouldn't sit you down and say, "Your son has a peanut allergy." He would just say, "Your son is dead. Would you like a peanut? They're delicious." Delicious. I heard that ODB used to take a limo into the hood to pick up his welfare check. And then he would get out and pass out $100 bills to the kids on the sidewalk, which sounds pretty cool, but they're mostly his kids, so it's not that cool. But when I was young, I used to watch Frasier's theme song, and it ends with tossed salads and scrambled eggs. And as a kid, I was always like, I know what a tossed salad is. What the fuck is scrambled eggs? Someone explain this scrambled eggs. I just assumed it was cunnilingus as a child. I'm not gay. The way I know I'm not gay is every time I have sex with men, I don't enjoy it. That's how you know. I was in this bar, and the bartender, he leaned across, he was talking to these 2 ladies, he goes, "But old ladies don't know what bukkake is." And I had to interject. I was like, old ladies know what bukkake is. They just remember it as Paris. I told that joke at a nursing home. It killed it. It murdered. I'm pretty sure Nickelodeon is responsible for my bukkake fetish. You can't do that on television. I saw this young girl on the sidewalk. She picked up a clear plastic bottle cap and popped it in her mouth. And then she realized her mom wasn't watching. So she spat it out, ran in front of her mom, and did it again. And I'm pretty sure that girl is going to sleep around a lot when she gets older. Because if you're willing to put street trash in your mouth to get your mom's attention, my second marriage ended that way. I was at this club in Boise, and this woman comes up, and she's like, "I love your hair. Can I touch it?" I said, "I love your boobs. Can I touch them?" She was like, "Okay." So I told my wife, and she was very understanding. She was like, "Oh, of course you had to touch them for comedy." She left me immediately. Immediately after. I just realized I should stop calling my brother a motherfucker. My my people are from the islands, which means we used to get traded for rum, but now it's just drunk at parties like I am. I'm the oldest one in my family without kids. And I'm proud, you know. I tried really hard. I put in the wrong places and everything. I realized at a certain point that my grandmother was in D.C. for the entire civil rights movement. Yeah. So the next time I saw her, I had to ask. I was like, Grandma, what was it like? You were there for the March on Washington. You were there for the I Have a Dream speech. What was it like? And she said, oh, your grandfather wasn't interested in all that. I don't know if you heard they found the Golden State Killer. 30 years, someone was murdering people all over California for 30 years. Who knew it was the police? Who could have predicted? I'm really inspired by the civil rights movement. So much so, I want to make a movie. It's a porno. We open on Rosa Parks going down on Bayard Rustin. He's got a black power fist up Malcolm's ass. Coretta Scott writing a speech on her face. All right. I don't know if you've heard, there's a lot of young black men getting shot while handcuffed in the back of cop cars, which just makes me wonder, like, do police not watch Tarantino films? It's a lot of cleanup. Honestly, dead nigger storage could be a lucrative business model. That's apparently the Oakland police, I saw on a billboard, the Oakland police, $80,000 starting salary, $80,000. That is so much money to murder Negroes. It's just so, I had no idea. Made the wrong career choice. I wish I had a time machine. I would smoke all my weed twice. Wish I could teleport. I wouldn't be here. I was at Dolores Park, and this woman comes out to me. She's like, do you want these French fries? Because I had to pee, but I knew I should buy something, but I didn't want them, so you can have the fries. If you want the fries, I don't want the fries. Do you want the fries? I was like, sure, lady, I'll take the French fries, but you could have pissed in my mouth for free. One time I was walking down the street, I saw this woman, and I asked her, do you like your pussy 7? Or do you want your pussy 8? She held up a card. It was like 9. My ex-girlfriend was vegan. She shopped at Whole Foods. I'm actually going to be on TV later tonight. If you want to check it out, I'm going to buy liquor at the grocery store. One thing I need to know. If a paramedic has to take a shit, is that an emergency? I used to work on Valencia. On the way to work, I would walk past this barber shop, had a sign in the window. It said, shave and a haircut, $80. That's not how the song goes. So I go to work, right? My friend owned a shop. And in the shop, every item in the shop was for sale. That was the gimmick. It was selling an aesthetic. Anything you saw, any object. So people come in, I would just tell them, welcome to Viracocha, everything's for sale. And so many people would ask me, are you for sale? I am not a thing, ma'am. I used to just, it was after my divorce, I would just cry and the sink wasn't behind the bar, so I would just go into the back to cry and come back, and then they were playing sad music, and I would just like pour wine and tell sad stories. People were like, I need another glass of wine. It wasn't a bar. It was a venue, so we didn't have a liquor license. We didn't have a tap. We just put the bottles out on top of the bar. People would look at me. They'd look at the bottles. I'd say, I have a nigger, 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 a negra Modelo. Well, I was living in Portland. I was working at this place called Shanghai Tunnel. It was a curious bit of architecture. The main bar was downstairs, and there was a crack in the masonry of the entrance. So when homeless people would urinate in the doorway, it would drip onto the bottles behind the main bar. So I got fired for pointing out health code violations. But while I was working there, it was fascinating. Portland really loved having to answer to me to do some shit. That's my dog's Uber. So I'd have guys come up. A lot of times it was military guys. It would be like, excuse me, sir, I'm sorry, you can't come in. I can't let you in. They'd be like, you have no respect. I was in the military. You have no respect for anything. You don't respect the military. Sir, you are correct, but that is irrelevant. This one guy was like, you have no respect. All you care about is cigars and Hennessy. I know. I thought, wow, that is so racist. That is just... but a little while ago, I had cigars with Hennessy. Racists know what the fuck they're talking about. They're educated on the subject. Guys, just a quick PSA. First of all, dare. Drugs are really expensive, all right? If you are being sexually harassed, bring mace, because Puff Daddy will not help you. Statistically, that's a fact. Ask Brett Ratner. He's like, no, everything's cool. Doug Benson is the pot comic. You know, he talks about marijuana on stage. And then after the show, people smoke him out. I talk about pedophilia in my act all the time. Nobody introduces me to their kids after shows, ever. I was reading about this guy named Klaus Fuchs. He was a spy in Berlin. One of the best, not the best, I know his name, you know, but like he was pretty good. Klaus Fuchs, man. I was fucking reading about Gary Webb. I don't know if you know about Gary Webb. Gary Webb wrote the Dark Alliance articles about the CIA flooding crack cocaine into Los Angeles. And Gary Webb was found dead in his apartment with 2 bullets in his head. It was ruled a suicide. Very unusual in a suicide to have 2 bullets. I was living outside of Portland. Someone wrote nigger on the fence across from my door. I was like, I'm home. So while I was in Portland, I was dating. I met this girl who was polyamorous. She was like, oh, I like you. You should come home with me and we should make out while my husband fucks me. And I don't know, at the time, I was craving intimacy. I was like, I don't know if I just kind of like you. She was like, I don't know. So we tried a date. She sent her husband out. We're in the backyard. She had 4 kids. I'm fisting her in the backyard. And I realize this woman has had 4 children. I'm not getting this fist back until she's done with it. So later we go to the bedroom. I end up falling asleep. I wake up. She's not around. Trying to figure out where am I, what's happening. So I walk through the house. I find her in the backyard with her husband. So she's like, it's okay. I told him we have the bedroom tonight. So now all 3 of us are in the bedroom. And they're like, we're going to fuck now. You do whatever you want. I was like, all right, that's fine. I'll just go in the living room on this couch. So I'm on the couch in the living room. They're in the bedroom. I can hear them fucking. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. I start to edit my podcast. I'm like, it's fine. You guys do you, I'll do this. So then the door opens. He walks out naked. He walks into the kitchen. He stares me down naked, drinking water in the dark. Sets his water down. Walks back into the bedroom, closes the door. The slapping and smacking and slurping continues. So I'm editing my podcast. They're fucking. And then the kids start crying in the basement. So there's kids crying in the basement, and then the door opens, and he goes, excuse me, could you turn your phone down? It's kind of loud. So I was working at Shanghai. At one point, this woman came. She was like, can I use the bathroom? And I was like, I'm sorry, because that's my rule. And she walked away, and this guy came up to me, and he's like, huge mistake. That was a porn star. Like, is she going to fuck me? Like, what different? All right. Another time, these 2 women came up. There was one that was really drunk, and one was kind of sober. There was one that was really pretty, and one was kind of sober. The sober one's like, could my friend use the bathroom? I was like, I'm sorry, I really wish I could. She's like, please, I really have to. I'm like, you seem really nice. I just can't let you in. I wish I could. She's like, please. I was like, look, from what I've heard, people find places. There are places that people find in the city, in the dark, to urinate. Good luck. So she took 6 steps to the edge of the patio, squats down, and starts peeing on my patio. And I have to clean the patio. She's grabbing this folding chair with one hand and a potted plant with another, and the chair's wobbling. And I'm like, I don't want to wash piss off this chair. So I steady the chair, and she kind of falls in her own urine. So then I go around to help her up, and I help her up. And we're looking each other in the eye, trying to figure out which one of us is going to pull her panties up. And what I'm saying is we should raise the minimum wage. We got to raise the minimum wage. Do you want to hear about the time I was kidnapped by the police on New Year's? All right, I'll tell you. It was New Year's, and I was supposed to go to a party at my friend's shop that I worked at on Valencia, but someone clogged the toilet, and it killed the vibe. I had to run all over town to look for a plunger. I'd asked like 6 shops, do you have a plunger? Like if anyone's trying to find a plunger after 8 p.m., they really need it. Recreational plungers are purchased before noon. So finally, I found the plunger next door. Problem solved. Returned the plunger. Party dead. So I'm just walking down the street. I have an unopened, sealed bottle of Sailor Jerry rum in my pocket. And I'm talking to my ex-wife on the phone, walking down the street. I sit down on the edge of this. It was like a fence next to a park. I'm just sitting, talking on the phone. And I see these lights, and the cops are flashing on me. And they're talking to me through the loudspeaker. But I'm on the phone with my ex-wife, so I'm like, yeah, you guys can wait. So then I'm on the ground. The cops have my phone. I'm face to the ground. They empty my pockets. So I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. This is a violation of my rights. I have civil rights. I have civil liberties. This is a violation. I say that shit so much. Now I'm in the car, and they're saying it back to me now. Now I'm in the holding cell, and they're pleading my case to the guy on the other side of the gate. They're like, we're violating this guy's rights. This guy has civil liberties. So I'm like, okay, logic isn't going to work on this one. So then I just go stiff and just fall to the ground. And they try to stand me up, but I just stay limp. They try to pry my eyes open, but I just didn't respond. I stayed catatonic. And eventually they called a paramedic. They put me in the back of an ambulance. They drove away. So I opened my eyes and I'm like, I'm okay. Everything's fine. I'm okay. And they're like, no, we had to take you to the hospital. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm okay. It's fine. So they give me back my stuff. The cops stole my rum. But in my wallet, there was a receipt for my body. It's called habeas corpus. We took your body. We took you without cause and detained you with no reason. Here's a receipt. One time, I was at the BART. I had headphones on. I was minding my business, but I heard this. So I took off my headphone. I look around. I walk to the edge of the platform. I see there's a man on the tracks. His phone, his backpack, his hat, his sunglasses. So I'm looking around to see if anyone's going to do anything, and there's a light in the tunnel, and I realize I'm probably the only one on this platform who used to play in the subway tunnels when I was a kid. So I guess it's on me. So I jump down, and I grab his backpack, I put it up, his hat, glasses, put them up, and I pick him up, and I'm trying to get him up. You know, in the story, I'm really strong, and I do it by myself. So they help him up. And the fucking light is getting bigger, and I see the guy's phone. So I grab the phone, and I climb out. And what I'm saying is, it's really hard to unlock a phone that you find on the subway track. It's really difficult. They make it hard to unlock those phones. When I was little, my mom used to tuck me in. She'd go to leave, turn off the light. And I would ask her, Mom, I forget, what do girls have? She would turn off the light. Vagina, son. Vagina. When my stepdad tucked me in, he would say, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. But I actually had bed bugs in San Francisco a few years ago. And bed bugs don't really give a fuck about consent. Bed bugs don't ask for permission. When I was little, my mom bought me this ice cream. We stepped outside. I licked it. And it landed on the sidewalk. So I'm looking up at my mom, and she's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any. But she found $5 in her pocket. And she went and bought me another ice cream. But this time, she licked it really hard to make sure it didn't fall off, just really hard. She did that for the rest of my childhood, and I think that's why I'm obsessed with deep throating. A few years ago, there was a drought in San Francisco. People banded together to conserve water. They stopped watering their sidewalks. Everyone's urine was dehydrated, just like, it really worked. Like, the reservoir, actually, it was so effective that the reservoir of the water table overflowed into the sewage. So there's trace amounts of human feces in the San Francisco water supply. But you guys eat ass, right? So it's fine. You know, I really like to make a to-do list and put suicide at the top of it. I would kill to be an assassin. I think that's what we need to solve this Trump shit. I think we need to find a time-traveling assassin. Like, I feel like we should talk to Rachel McAdams, because that chick will not stop fucking time travelers. She was fucking a time traveler in about time. She married one and had kids. She fucked Doctor Strange. She was the time traveler's wife. I think she knows something. And I feel like, you look at me like I'm fucking crazy, right? That's not what they told me at the psych ward, okay? I think it's possible. Because, do you know that someone tried to assassinate Trump? It was a British teenager. This was before the election. You hear the one about the ICE concentration camps? Texas is number 1 in hot car infant deaths. Someone tried to assassinate Trump before he was president. And this is what I thought about the story a lot. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So this kid flies into the country. He lands in the middle of the United States the day before he's trying to kill Trump in California. So now he has to get a car, drive halfway across the country. But he doesn't have a weapon. So when he gets to the rally, so at first, I thought it was like a Bernie guy, like a Bernie supporter. When he gets to the rally, he just grabs his Secret Service weapon. That's socialist assassination. The U.S. taxpayers should pay for the weapon I'm going to use to kill the president. That's what I thought. But then I realized this guy's a fucking time traveler. When you pass through the field of the space-time continuum, you can't bring a weapon. And then it's like, what happened to this kid? He must have gone to prison for a long time. No, he just got deported, disappeared back to England. No one knows where he is. He's a fucking time traveler. So what I'm saying is, he fucked up. He was young. Let's get him in the future. Call Rachel McAdams. Let's make this happen. Thank you so much.